cell phone yet, I think.
That's
no?
right.
So how is that now compared to before? And what are the ups and downs of then and now?
Yeah. You know, I think it's mostly ups right now because back in the late 80s when I started, that's right. You know, communication was not as efficient as it was today, as it is today. Back then, if you wanted to get your name out, you had to pay tons of money for a PR guy. You remember that? When PR was like, you hire a PR person to do your PR blitz. And that's not advertising because they know all the editors, you get into this magazine, that magazine. But now, with the internet and social networking, if you learn the techniques, you can do it for free. Which I actually joined last year in AIM also, an Internet Maven Secrets class. It was for 3 months. This was with Anton Diaz, who's a top blogger. So I learned how to blog. I learned how to kind of exploit the internet to help your business. Your businesses also, how to do also, let's say, how to promote it in Facebook, Twitter, things like that. Pero wow, it's all for the best, I feel. Used responsibly, the internet's really a very good tool.
So, do you get a lot of with the internet? How do you know how many really visits your shop or?
Yes, now I think especially with Facebook, with the Facebook page, you can see how many are viewing that page, no? Let's say with Facebook as well, I'm really so amazed how instant sales can be. Like, you upload, this is so funny, Ro. Last 2 weeks ago, I uploaded the first few dresses for summer at Bon Bouche, and then I tagged those people who I knew would really buy. The same night, I get a message from someone who I just met at a wedding in Bacolod, and she bought, like, in 5 minutes, I think about 6 dresses. She goes, Michi, thanks for uploading. I wanted to be the first who got to get to your store. I think so. It's like I was telling my husband, really, this Facebook thing, the internet's really fantastic. It's so instant.
So she's in Bacolod, so you have to send it to her. You have to mail it to her.
Actually, at the time she was here.
Okay.
And then I had met her at an event there because she also does business there. So she was here at the time. Yeah.
So in the internet, you do your retail line
Yes.
and your bridal.
That's right. Yes.
So for the bridal, I mean that's very personalized, as you said.
Yes.
I mean, my viewers might be interested to know how much a gown is.
Okay. Online, my gowns are actually very, very competitive pricing. Why? The gowns I post online are not the big, heavy ball gowns because I have to ship it. So I take into consideration that shipping should not be that expensive. Therefore, I am selling gowns like with no train. It's like a chiffon long dress. Very, very simple. And online, I sell that for only about $600, $800, depending on the styles. But you Google search Toccata at Etsy.com, you will see my store. Therefore, my gowns there are, I would categorize them to, let's say, you're getting married in Sonia's garden, you wear a gown like this. Because it's a long, dressy ivory dress, but it's not the grand, you know, cathedral train.
Long train.
No. It's something I can ship. It's like even a lace V-neck shift dress, things like that, no? So I take into consideration the shipping, how big the box will be. This is why my dresses online are ganyan lang, $600, $800.
So $600 together now with the shipping.
No, without the shipping. The shipping is about $50.
But of course, that's the cost of the customer.
Yes, the customer pays for that.
So you have your retail, you have your bridal.
Yes.
So you have your own factory.
Yes, I do. I have my own production area. And it's actually in the same property where I am at home. There's a separate house. Because I also feel that I really have to be on top of things. Therefore, people have to see me. I have to go in there. I think logistics also really plays a big part in the success of the business.
And of course, you are also a mother.
Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you that. Yes, I am
you're
a mother.
a mother of 3.
Yes.
And of course, your business is there for your business to thrive, and you have to be on hand still with your children.
True.
And of course, you are also a wife. So can you share about your experience of handling that?
Okay. Most importantly, I'm of course a wife and a mother of 3 daughters. Now, 2009, I think I didn't mention to you that I actually had a separate bridal store at the Oasis, no, that's in Aurora Boulevard, 5 minutes away from my house. But still, because brides are very demanding, you must be there all the time. They want a relationship with you, even if it's just the dress they're ordering. And then my youngest, who was at the time about 2, 1, my mother-in-law noticed that she doesn't speak any English, which for me, there's nothing wrong with that. But it only meant I wasn't spending enough time with her. So I closed that bridal boutique, which was there for 6 years. I closed it and I said, you know what? I'm bringing it back home and I'll be more choosy with my brides. And then you know what? This was really a great idea because when clients are a bit late, I just go back to the main house and then, play with my daughter. After 2 months, she was straight English speaking. Obviously, she spent so much time with me. I do errands with her in the morning. Let's say I have to go to the supermarket or the bank or somewhere. She's on my lap in the car. And we were able to, I was able to address that. I was feeling very guilty for leaving her all the time.
True, yeah.
Yeah. But the other 2, they're older. They're in grade school. And I see them in the afternoon. So I had to address that because you know what? What's doing business if you lose touch with your family? It doesn't mean anything, right? So I was so glad I came back home.
As mothers, more are required of us.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why. If you notice, I think no more of the Filipinos, more Filipinas are entrepreneurs than employees.
Yes.
Right?
Yes,
because
yes, yes.
basically it's the husband who goes to 9 to 5 job,
Right.
and then the wives are the entrepreneurs because they can spend time. You
Yeah.
have the flexibility of time.
True. And it's also because women like us we're wired to multitask. We're born that way, right, Rowena?
Yes. I truly believe that.
Yes.
And so now your business, you internet. Is there what else where do you see yourself 10 years from now? Your business,
Yes. My business actually
5-10 years from now.
5-10 years from now, I wrote this a lot of times in my own journal that I really wanted to be more online based because right now a lot of my time still goes to person to person with the bride, and that's really fine. I'm still enjoying, but I won't be this energetic for too long, right?
Yes.
20 years from now. So online, kasi Rowena, I don't meet them, but I'm constantly in touch with them. Imagine you get feedback when I've sent, let's say, wedding gowns. I also sell freshwater pearls online. You get feedback, and I said, shucks, I reached so many people internationally because it was online. How can I do that if there was no online, diba? But I feel I can further expand using the internet. I think I'd like to do more wholesale export orders. That's very fulfilling.
Wholesale of
Mostly of what I'm carrying now. Let's say the resort wedding gowns, cocktail dresses, and then even the bridal jewelry which I do, which are only just freshwater pearls.
And do you carry your own label for?
Yes,
for
I do.
What is the label of your like the ones that you export?
Abroad, the label actually is Toccata by Michi Kalika.
Why Toccata?
Toccata because when you register in Etsy, you have to have a story. It's all about your story. And Toccata is a musical piece which is characterized by very fast piano, right? So you have to have expert hands to know how to play a toccata. And I translated, expert hands also go into my creations. You must have that, you must have a trained hand to do that kind of handiwork that I do for toccata. Therefore,
Is Etsy just purely for clothing, fashion?
oh,
That that site, is it just for fashion?
for fashion, actually, not just for fashion, although big companies now are looking into Etsy when they want to find a new designer for, when they want to find fresh designs, no? But aside from fashion, clothing, it's all sorts of things. Vintage pieces. I've seen even supplies. Let's say if you're a jewelry designer and you want to buy stones, you can get it there. It's categorized under handmade, so fashion is there, and then there is vintage, has to be 20 years and above, and supplies.
Vintage clothing.
Anything vintage. You
Even
can have
jewelry.
vintage, yeah, even like a tin
tin.
cup, the vintage. You can have jewelry that's vintage. You can have like a picture frame, as long as it's 20 years and above, that's considered vintage to them.
So Etsy is like the store,
Yes.
and then you are all suppliers or consigners of that store. That's how it. I mean, you can
Yeah,
parallelize
basically,
it.
yeah, more or less. It's more like Etsy is the big department store, and the Toccata and all the other designers and sellers are more of like the little stores inside the store.
So since they're the big store, you still give them a commission
Yes.
and on all the businesses you make.
That's
right?
correct. Like per sale, Etsy gets 4.5% of the gross.
Okay.
Plus, may PayPal pa yan. When we get paid via PayPal, you also give PayPal a commission, which is also about 5%. Therefore, from the wholesale, from one piece, that's 10% off na. That goes to Etsy.com and PayPal. Yeah, so we have to price accordingly.
And of course, on the business side,
yes.
our viewers might want to know how fast is the turnover of delivering, getting
Yeah.
your money back, and how
Okay.
reliable is it?
Okay, nako, there's
Kasi
a lot of
that's
secrets
money.
there. It's true. You know, there's a lot of things to consider when you're doing online. There's store policies. There are clients who will also complain, and there are some who might even ask their money back. So you have to fix your store policies very well. And I've clearly put in mind that there's no return and no exchange, none, because I'm a company overseas, this and that, no. Also, you have to open a PayPal account. That's another thing, diba? So, in fact, it's like a new course altogether teaching this, because there are a lot of things you will find out along the way. I've had, Rowena, some people I don't know write me and tell me, can you help me with my Etsy store? Some Filipinos, no? But what you have to realize is a lot of it is also, you have to experience it to be able to learn, because it's very difficult to tell all the secrets I learned in 2 years.
I think in every business, there's always your handbook.
Yes.
You have your book, your instructional book, but it's still different. The experience is still the best education
True.
for any business, no?
That's true.
Anyone who wants to start a business.
Yeah. In fact, Ro, this is funny you mentioned about the handbook, because when I was a newbie in Etsy, you can even buy handbooks on Etsy about starting your Etsy store. So I like Google search. And for the newbies, there are some people who sell manuals on having a successful Etsy store. Then you can go on the forums online. Etsy has a forum also. You have to, I think the key, Rowena, as an entrepreneur, you have to be matyaga. You have to constantly research so that you're abreast with what's happening in that industry also. And you have to be willing to learn. You know, you just can't say, I cannot say, I'm a fashion designer. Why do I have to learn that? You have to. You simply have to.
So, okay, career opportunities. I mean, if you said you were teaching.
Yes.
You were teaching, so any career opportunities for people who wants to get into the fashion business,
Yeah.
and since we have probably 3 minutes left,
Oh,
advice
okay.
to our viewers who wants to get into this type of business, who wants to
Okay.
be fashion entrepreneurs.
That's right. You know, you also have to remember that in the business of fashion, it's not only being a fashion designer that is available to you. There are so many other careers in the business of fashion. Nowadays, you can be a stylist. You can be a PR person for fashion businesses. You can be an illustrator, things like that. So don't keep in mind that
You just
all
have
there is
to
a
design.
be a fashion designer. So many businesses, so many other career opportunities there. No, like with my business, I employ. I also have illustrators. I have junior designers also. Let's say in the back room when I'm so busy already and we need to get something technical done, I call in actually like a tech support team for clothing also. So for those who want to get into the fashion business,